Summer is just about here, which means it's time to start barbecuing again. Whether you're going to the beach or having a small cookout in your yard, Charbroil has a grill to fit your needs. If you use our link, you can get a Charbroil one-burner portable grill for just over $100, and it's perfect for wherever you need to cook. It's convenient and portable, and works just as well in the backyard as it does on the go. Just go to multipleworldproductions.com/sponsors and use our link to shop all the great products Charbroil has to offer.
Good evening and welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. We're finally going to talk about Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because I got it over a week ago and I've been playing a lot of it. And I gotta say, I don't think that I've ever had a year where, number one, there were so many solid Game of the Year contenders this early. Where it's like, not to disparage anything. I mean, look, Tears of the Kingdom blows them all out of the way by a country mile. It's not even close. It is definitively the Game of the Year as it stands right now. But up until this point, we've had a solid string of games that have all worked very well on multiple levels. Like, we had Hogwarts Legacy that was really fun. We had Hi-Fi Rush that was amazing. I feel like there are others that I'm missing off the top of my head, but I just can't remember them. Cassette Beast was great. But we have all these games that came out relatively quickly. And, to start the year. And then to get to this point, and I think the race is done. I don't think Final Fantasy 16 will eclipse. I don't think Spider-Man 2 will eclipse. I don't think, what was that game that Bethesda has? Starfield is going to eclipse. I don't think anything will come close to what Tears of the Kingdom has accomplished. It's a game that I play, and I look at this and I'm like, this game shouldn't be able to run this well on the Nintendo Switch. Like, you look at, what was accomplished and what I was playing in the week leading up to Tears of the Kingdom was I was playing Pokemon Violet. And you look at what that game did, and that game is fun, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with Violet. And, when I eventually go back to it, when the DLC is coming closer, yeah, I'll have fun with it again. Or when they have a new raid that I'll jump into. But look, in that world, like, that game does not run well. Even with the updates, it does not run well on the Switch. You look at Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and this game runs astonishingly well for a game that is so much more than what Scarlet and Violet were. And like, you look at this, like my concern going into this game was, how is this game going to improve on Breath of the Wild? Because Breath of the Wild came out and just, again, that game was a knockout. That game was a 10 out of 10. And when they said, okay, so we have Tears of the Kingdom coming out, that game's going to be, this game's going to be $70. And I was like, I don't know. I've played games on the Switch. I don't know what you could do with this, with this to make it better. And it just, they have surpassed every expectation. They have surpassed every wish I could have had with this game, to the point where it's like I'm playing the game and I'm not even looking at the story. Like, I've logged like 40 hours in this game by now, and I have not progressed the story past getting down to base, and it's like I'm not at the point where I have to go to the 4 anomalies, and I'm just wandering around the map, exploring shit, doing shrines, going into the Undercroft, going up to the Sky Islands and exploring, and just looking at all the cool shit that is occupying this world. And that is where I'm having my fun with this game. It's not about me progressing the story in the way Elden Ring was. It is about me doing doing anything I want. Like, one of the thoughts I had when I was, in the lead up to the game, not related to the game, was like, I remember being in like middle school and elementary school, and there was a sense of, mystery around games, because it was still early days of the internet. Like, we had GameWinners.com, where if you wanted to get cheats, but there was this sense of mystery, like this communal coming together with your friends and being like, oh, look at all this cool stuff we found in the game. Like, that was the way it was with games like Super Mario 64 and like, other games of that generation. And when you get to, I was like, it's been a while since we had a game like that. And I was like, is it the internet just ruining it for us? Is it the internet being like, hey, here's everything you can do in this game? But when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom, there are so many options and so many varieties of gameplay options. Like, it's just kind of something else. Like, something else entirely. It is, I don't even know, like, it is such, and the thing is, too, it's like, there's just so much to do, and so much to look through, and so much, like, there are so many, and the thing is, too, it's like, because of how they lay out the abilities, and how the abilities are set up, there are so many ways that you can solve puzzles, and none of them feel cheap. You never feel like you are, breaking the rules of the game to complete a achievement by going into by doing something not the way that it's designed to in the game. Like, it doesn't, like, there are very few puzzles that feel like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. Like, there are very few puzzles that have that feeling to it, and it's just so well done. And the exploration is so rewarding in a way that you don't have in a lot of other games. Like, you go into, you wander around, you find caves, and you go into the cave, and you're like, oh, holy shit, there's stuff in here that I can get. There's stuff in here to fight. There's stuff, like, all of that's so cool. And for the map to exist as big as it is, and for it to be that big 3 times, it's like, holy God, this is, this might be one of the strongest years for video games ever, not just with this game being that it is, but with the other games that are coming out that are as good as they are. This might be a banner year for the medium. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said by a million other people out there. This is a game that is worth, if you do not have a Switch, getting a Switch to play. If I have, I guess this is a game worth getting the console for. This is a game worth, really sinking a ton of time into. And the thing is, too, it's like, the game is so varied in gameplay that, like, I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and I forgot about, like, the fuse ability. Like, and there will be times where, like, my gameplay will just become so focused on whatever the thing I figured out, I remember that I had most recently. So it's like, you use, I forgot about fuse. I forgot about recall. Oh, I'm so tired today. I forgot about, I forgot about the, what was it ability? The recall, the ascend. I totally forgot about ascend, and then I got down into the undercroft. I'm like, fuck, how do I get back up? And then I'm like, oh wait, right. There's an ability that lets you climb up through the ceiling and up to the next level. I forgot about that. Like, there are so many things that are like the puzzles really test your ability. It's more of a test of your ingenuity than it is a test of your skill, which is just so well done. And one of my concerns going into the game was when I saw these, the complexities of the building and stuff, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I like Minecraft, like, don't get me wrong, I'll play Minecraft, but one of the things that never really gelled with me was the redstone building. Because it's like, it's just needlessly complex. I'm not really into that. So, it was something that I was like, oh shit, let me dive deep on redstone and figure that out and really get into, all of that. And I look at this game and I'm like, nothing about this is difficult to understand or or hard to get into. It is rewiring you to play the game a certain way. And it's like, even if you don't like open world games, it's just go out and explore. Like, you don't have to do that. The game has, again, so many ways to play. Oh, right, if I had one complaint, that's what it was. I paused to yawn and I forgot. If I had one complaint, it's I don't like the opening, starting you out at max level and then bringing you back down. It's just a dumb trope I don't really care for. And I think that this game kind of opening you that way is a little annoying. And then on top of that, too, it's not just that, but also the tutorial is a little too long. More than a little. It is way, way too long. You spend too much time on the opening island in the sky trying to get all your abilities. It was way faster in Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild handled it a little bit better when all is said and done. But, look, I think that this is, like I said, strongly Game of the Year, as it is right now. And I think that for anything else to come close, they would have to do something completely out of left field that I can't foresee them doing. Like, Starfield, I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to play it because it's on PC Game Pass, but I'm going to be honest, I don't see it doing anything crazy in the way that, it is going to be a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls style game, but in space, and I'm here for that. I just don't think it's doing anything ridiculously crazy. I don't think any of that recorded. Fuck. I don't think that it is, what's it called? I don't think that there's anything that's going to be outlandish. I don't think, Starfield's going to be another, and it's possible this is reiterated because I ran into a slight technical glitch on my phone, but I don't think Starfield is going to do anything spectacular or different to the point where it's going to exceed expectations in this way. I think my expectations are kind of kept in check to an extent, so when it comes out, it will be exactly what I'm expecting it to be. It will be another RPG like Fallout or Elder Scrolls, but in space, and that's all I want from it. I'm not looking for anything ridiculous. Same goes for, I don't think Spider-Man 2 is going to really innovate in a way that this one does, and in a game that I didn't think was ripe for innovation, considering it is the same console generation. I didn't think going into this game that it was going to be anything near what this is. And that probably is something to do with why I'm receiving it so well, besides the fact that the game is as good as it is. And besides the fact that, look, there are no bugs in this game. Every other game that I've played this year has had some kind of bug in it at some point. This game is just so polished and so functional at release that I don't think that this is a game that will be topped by the end of the year. But look, I mean, I will be, if that happens, if we get to the end of the year, and a game has unseated this one as Game of the Year, that is the best possible scenario. Because if we get to the end of the year this year, and we get to, we get to December, and we're putting together our Game of the Year list, and there's a game that is so good that it makes Tears of the Kingdom not the best game of the year, then we have had a fantastic year for video games in general to have that happen. To have two games that could be, this is an all-time great video game in the same way Breath of the Wild is an all-time great video game. In the same way, I would say Spider-Man from PS4, 2018 Spider-Man, was an all-time great video game. If this is also an all-time great video game, and then we have another that is better, I'm actively rooting for that. But we will wrap up there for today. I think tomorrow morning we have 1001, the Teyana Taylor movie that came out a few months ago. It is on Peacock, so we'll be watching that, and we'll be talking about it tomorrow morning. And we will be talking about a few other movies this week, including Wednesday we have The Little Mermaid, and Thursday we have that new Julia Louis-Dreyfus, You Hurt My Feelings, the new Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie from A24. So, until then, Have a great rest of your week.
This podcast is a production of Multiple World Productions. For more details about all the other things happening on all 3 podcasts, check out multipleworldproductions.com.